So at the beginning of this year, a Goofy Goober YouTuber and a group of Reddit trolls tried to cancel me off the internet. All because I made a crochet pattern and did a 2-week tester call and asked for a 2-week turnaround. It's months later and I ended up getting on YouTube and I've been uploading videos and it popped back up into my roll. So I had to go see if the comments were still on, and they were, and people were still in there being nasty. So I made a couple, trolling videos back the past couple days, and people who weren't here were asking about the lore. So I'm going to tell you my perspective as what it was like to attemptedly get cancel cultured off the internet for a crochet pattern. So I might be a little back and forth, but stick with me because all the details matter. So I posted up the tester call and I had a lot of people applying. It got reshared a ton. And within all the reviewing of the applicants, I saw somebody's comments saying that what I was doing was not appropriate, that it wasn't enough time for a tester call, that plus size people wouldn't be able to have enough time to do the tester call in that time period. Which I replied back to, on this pattern test, I'm just looking to have it done really quickly. Like, I'm changing careers. I'm really excited. Trying to jump into the crochet pattern making space. I've already been in it, but I'm trying to like full launch. And on patterns in the future, I will definitely give longer times. But for right now, this was what I was looking for. Well, she didn't like that and she argued back with me. And while she was arguing back with me, another person jumped in the comments and I thought it was the same person. But it was a different person and their comment was much more aggressive. They started off outwardly saying, "Yikes, guys, yikes. This is scummy for somebody to ask of other people in your community. You're basically breaking people's bones." Just outlandish statements. Mind you, flash forward, people wanted to say that that was a mild criticism. That wasn't a mild criticism. That was just garbage. So I screenshotted and posted it up, and I had made a post that says, "Hey, we shouldn't talk to people like this. Like, if you have something constructive to say, you can do it in a nicer way. And if you're going to goofy goober, I'm going to goofy goober too." So I just went to their page, and on the only post that they had, which was of multiple people, I typed back, "Yikes, guys, yikes." And that set them off, and they screenshotted everything and posted it directly to Reddit and started a mob herd mentality. The original person went in there and said that I lost my job, and that was the reason that I was rushing through this crochet pattern tester, and they posted it to a Reddit thread called Craft Snark, which is apparently notoriously known for calling people out that are doing indiscretions in the fiber arts community. And flash forward too, after all this started, this person is known for constantly stirring up drama. I don't even think they make patterns. All they do is commentate on other people, and they try to start drama with people about size inclusivity. So that way they have a narrative and something to talk about that day. They essentially start an argument and then try to shame the person's name. Not only did they do it the first time, they went and made additional posts later on, months later, and tried to tag my business and say like, these group of people all are on our watch list because they didn't bend to our will whenever we, made our opinions known and they didn't agree with them. And within that, they try to lead in the first slide that the pattern I was working on wasn't size inclusive enough because a plus size person couldn't get it done in the same time that a regular size person could. And I said, "Bet, then I'll just do it. I'll show you." And I had it done within 3 days. I immediately sent it out to pattern testers and they had it done within a few days too. I think one of them was done the second day. Did I think the most basic beginner can get this done in 2 weeks? No. Did I think an experienced person could get it done within 2 weeks? Absolutely. And this goofy YouTuber decides to make a video, and her comments were that disabled people wouldn't be able to do it, and people that had jobs and people that had lives would never be able to fulfill that within a 2-week time parameter. That was already addressed, that this pattern in specific could be done in 2 weeks. That in the future, that I would open it up for that. So there's the first live speculation. The second one was that it's not plus size inclusive and that my patterns weren't plus size inclusive. Every pattern that I've done has been plus size inclusive since I started making stuff. And I make cloaks, which makes it a lot easier to make things plus size inclusive. But I used to be 270 pounds. I have never not thought about a plus size person when making my garment. Do I think everything into the future I'm going to be able to make plus size? Maybe not, but I've done my best. So then when they couldn't lead with the fact that I was a terrible person for those two lives, then it was because I had already made a Luna Moth cloak and now I was working on a Luna Moth cardigan. They screenshot my Luna Moth cloak that was already posted and people were buying it and said that I had listed a pattern that I was actively testing. I mean, if y'all don't know the details, y'all just make it up. So I addressed that pretty immediately. I posted it up on the gram and then they were still heckling me. They wanted me to offer paying full compensation for pattern testers, saying that I needed to pay them a livable wage at least $20 an hour if I were going to demand 2-week time parameter. I mean, they all but asked for healthcare insurance as well. The Goofy Goober YouTuber spent the majority of their video talking about how Reddit is a shit-infested cesspool. But I have to wonder where you got your information from, because you were hot on the tea and you were clip farming my page for days, making an entire YouTube video that was 22 minutes long so you can have commentary to back up like why I'm such a piece of shit person and people shouldn't support me in my businesses, even though all of my businesses have always been actively successful. So then, because the original person wanted to lie and say that I lost my job because I did hair for almost 2 decades and I had to step away from it for health reasons, which all of my clients have been aware of for a couple years. I've been telling them that the aerosols and the bleach are hurting my lungs. I've always had a predisposition to having bad allergies, and I got to the point where I cut out every single thing that I could. I opened up space, I did ventilation, and at the end of the day, even though I was spectacular at doing hair, it wasn't worth what it was doing to my health. People were saying that I was struggling, and that's the reason that I had to rush this pattern test, and it all just really sounded like pocket watching at the end of the day. I get that it's the goal that we all want to be able to work from home and do our own things, but I have been grinding for a very long time in multiple career fields to get to where I'm at. Having it circulate around the internet that I am a bad business owner and that I, lost my job and like all these just nonsensical things was just hilarious, honestly. If you don't believe that I did good quality work, you can go check my page. I mean, my portfolio is stacked, and I left it up because I like to go look at it from time to time. Instagram, at Holly Borealis Hair. People love me, whether you want to admit it or not. There's nobody that has that many clients and a portfolio that extensive for that long of a period of time, unless they were a delight or they were really good at what they did. I happen to think it's both. But if you need to write on the narrative that I only had that many people come into my chair because I did good quality work, that's fine too. I don't care. I worked the first few years of my career doing hair in chain salons, then I went to private salons, then I ended up being a studio suite owner, and then I transitioned because I had the space and accommodations at my house to be able just to have it right out of my house, and it was so comfortable. All the requirements for code before anybody tries that too. Paid my taxes. So the Goofy Goober YouTuber tried to say in her video that I lost the plot because I started talking about hair. Y'all the one who brought up my career in the first place. They'll still write me to this day and say they miss me. They miss that I can't do their hair anymore. I feel the same way. I love doing hair. I was passionate about doing hair. I was a platform artist for a major company in the hair world. Fact check it. People want to say I was a terrible person because I cursed a lot on my posts. Well, who wouldn't curse a lot on their posts whenever you are sending mobs of like 300 people to my page at one time to try to rip me apart and scour my page and clip farm me, question my life, my personal life, my career? All because like I went back to one person's post and said, yikes guys, yikes. And on another post I said, if you didn't spend so much time on internet drama, you'd probably be better at your crochet skill. I mean, if you're gonna goofy goober, I'll goofy goober too, but y'all took it way too far. Y'all took it to the extreme. And that's the problem with her mentality. Lack original thought. So anyways, all these people wanted to keep saying that in the comment section that my patterns were basic, but the person in the YouTube video literally is using a trademarked image, which I believe is called like Studio Ghibli or something like that. And it just looks like an advertisement the entire video. Like a lot of their videos, they're wearing this crochet pattern that they're selling. And I know a lot of crochet artists, sell trademark patterns, but we can't be serious right now. At least what I make are things that at best are inspired by, definitely not direct knockoff. And then they were clip farming my page that entire time and blocked me before they posted the YouTube video, so I couldn't find out any information about them unless I, went to outside sources, which I'm not like huge about doing stuff like that. I don't care that much. But I happened to find their Ravelry, and it had them in a bat poncho. And one of my premier patterns is a bat poncho. So it almost makes me believe that they were trying to use this as a, well, look at this person and their indiscretions. You should perhaps come over here and buy my pattern. I mean, if we're all going to be making speculations, that's my speculation. And I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to go ahead and go to part 2. So meet me at part 2 because I got a few more things to say, and then I'll try to wrap up for everything. Also, before I go to part 2, I want to say at least I didn't report you for using trademark image without a licensing agreement, unlike the way that y'all came for me and tried to report every single page that I had and tried to basically ban me off the internet in every way, shape, and form. Okay, go to part 2.